Hi everyone. Oh, I said those magic words and my puppies come a-running. So hi, hopefully you're all well. It's Courtney. I'm jumping on live. I haven't been on for a little bit, and I thought, I'll get back into it, and yeah, it's a bit of fun. So I was looking through my drawer thinking, what am I going to show you today? So we've got so much happening in our brand spanking new catalogue that I'll just pop this down in front of you. So there is so much happening in this catalogue, so many new things to love, so many, oh, it's a bit fuzzy. Let's get it focused. So many great things that are in our encore section. Now, the encore section is special in the respect that it is all of our things that are coming back. And they've done it a little bit differently this time. What they've done is they've actually popped things that are coming back that belong together. They've popped them together. So you don't have a big list of dies at the back. You've got them sitting next to their stamp set that they complement. So I decided that I was pulling out a list. I pulled out some dies. Oh, I should have pulled out those ones. They're rather pretty and we haven't used them before. Save that for next time. I thought I'd pull out some dies that we have used before. It's been a while, and I'm just ratting through here to see if I can find them, and I can't. So they're obviously on a different page. We're using the Deckled rectangles. So there is a nice big index in the back here. Dies are on this side. We're used to having our stamps first, but our stamps are now at the end. All right. So we're going to use our Deckled rectangles, which in the catalogue are not featured. They're an online exclusive. And they've got a green dot on them. I mark my things so that I know. They do have a green dot on them, so they are an online exclusive. What about these little chirps? These ones have got a yellow dot on them. Now, that could be because they were in the previous catalogue, or it could be because they're in this one. The Wanted to Say dies, whoops, are featured on page 85. Again, in the encore section still. And they're just down here with our Best Family Ever and our Hope to Know You stamp set and our Wanted to Say dies. Now, I really like these. You guys are going to really like these. I know that you really like these if you've already got them. They're just lots of fun. I haven't got this stamp set yet. This is called Fields in Bloom, but it's really pretty. But anyway, so I wanted to feature our designer series paper. This paper is actually from another option from the online exclusives. The papers just are so pretty at the moment. That's Blackberry Bliss and Fresh Freesia, in case I forget later. This is the zinnia paper. It's called Flowering Zinnias, but it's just so bold and so bright and so happy that you sort of look at it and you think, oh, what am I going to do with that? And the flowers are big and they're fun and it's double-sided and there's patterns on the other side and there's just so many great things that you can do with it. So I've been having to play with some other things to do with it, but I mean, look at that one. How pretty is that? And I will tell you, it is better in real life. So we're going to do a layering up technique where we're going to feature the paper as our feature, essentially. That side's pretty. And I'm just going to decide which piece I want to use. I've got my Deckled rectangles. And I'm hoping that I've got some washi tape handy because you do need washi tape for what I'm about to do. So what I'm planning on doing is I'm going to line up some of our rectangles, but I'm not going to get all of them because I want there to be a little bit of space around them. So that one might be too big. I'm thinking I'll use this piece. It'll work really nice with this one as well. You can make one flower the feature, but, ooh, that sounds really good, like a good idea. No, I'm going to use this one. I really like this paper. This paper, it just lends itself to doing this fun stuff. Right, so I'll put the rest of it over to the side with my pile. Okay, so I like to make portrait cards. Portrait cards are up and down like this. So we're going to do a couple of little bit of measuring first. I've got my Blackberry Bliss here. I haven't cut anything up. Haven't cut up in any way, shape or form. All right, and I will just click on to see comments just in case. All right, so I'm just going to cut this at 40, it's 14.8, no, almost 14.9 to cut that in half. And now I'll fold it in half. Just put my mouse to the side. Just run my bone folder along that little bit of bent up bit. I've noticed I took a photo of a card the other day, and when I was zooming in to get a sneak peek, I could see it, that top bit, and I just thought, oh, okay, well, we need to move that. Stop that happening. Okay, so I've got, this is my card front, and using these dies to do this, I need to make sure that I don't want to be too small, but I don't want to be too big either. So we're going to need a bit of a border around it, which is going to be in our Blackberry Bliss. That one might be a bit too big. No, we're going to miss this one. Okay, so we missed that one. Jump into that one. And I think we'll miss that one there as well. And we'll jump straight into this one here. So you sort of get the idea as to what I'm doing. That might, I think that might do it as well. Let's see if we can get it a bit better. So that's that one. Oh, I'm thinking this might be a bit better. Yeah, I'm thinking that's what's going to work for me, because what we do is we cut out one piece of designer series paper. We cut it all out with all these shapes in one go. And then we're going to lay them up with a bit of, with some Blackberry Bliss between them, so that way, is that the biggest one? Because I don't think the really big one fits on the Australian cards, or it does, but it gives you too much, to me it gives too much room at the top, at the top and the bottom. It's not even, so I'm not that big a fan. Whereas I can make it sort of look right with the other one. Yeah. Yeah. So we're going to do that. So we're going to cut a piece of designer series paper. Let's put those to the side. So, oops, don't need that anyway. Now, I have a tendency to cut this automatically in 6x6. There is 2 pieces to every piece of paper, so if we end up needing it a different measurement for something else, that's fine. But I really want the zinnias to show, and it doesn't need to be much bigger than that. So I can get away with 9.5 here. Okay, and I really want only zinnias. So this one's going to have a lot of work that we're going to do with it. And I'll just pull out some washi tape. Just gotta get my ringy thing closer to me. Stampin' Up no longer carry washi tape, but they've always carried it. They've carried it in the past, so I have a wee bit of a stash, because at one stage there had a bit of an addiction thing happening to it. So with it, just grab all of my plates. They're still the ones that are as rough as anything. That's the flattest, so we're going to use that. So I'll just set it up on here. Oh, that's pretty side too. Okay, so All right, so we've got some washi tape. And I'm just going through, and I'll just set this up. So what I'm doing is I'm picking what bit of the design I would like, and I'm layering my pieces to where I'd like them. That piece of plant's going to be right in the middle, but that's all right. Okay, and now I'm going to secure all of those. They look relatively even. Got to hold your tongue right, you know how it is. As we secure them all. With our washi tape. Oh, I already had a piece. And you want them square. Puppies are on patrol. They're racing around trying to figure out who's where. Okay, so you want to make sure they're square before, it's not too bad, before we stick them in the cut and emboss machine. Okay. That is going to go through the machine. Hi, how you going? Afternoon, everybody. We're doing some layering. So we're going to layer these up. And this is one of my favourite techniques. My friend Chris is on. She loves landscape cards. I'm the portrait girl of the group, and she's the landscape girl of the group. Okay, and now looking at that, to me it looks like it wiggled a bit, but we'll see if we can rescue it. If not, just cut another piece of paper. Okay, so you're going to end up with 3 different pieces. If you were not worried about wasting paper, you could make it so that this piece is aimed so that it lands somewhere in particular on your piece of designer series paper, and then you could cut around it. That's your choice. So we've got these 3 pieces. So when I measure them, I'm then going to cut out pieces of more Blackberry Bliss to suit them. Okay, and I should be able to get them out of most of this. Actually, I will. I'll get them all out of this. So all right, I'll just bring this in. So using your grid paper, this piece here is actually going to, we have the choice. We can sit it straight onto our piece of card, or we can back this as well. And I actually think that looks really good if we back this as well. And it gives it some support because it's floppy because it's got a hole in the middle. So this piece here is, it measures 8.5 by just shy of 12. So if we did 8.5, if we did 9 by 12.5, 12.5 by 9, that'll give us this piece's background piece just here. Okay. All right, so that's one. This piece here, is that big enough for you? It is, look. But for the sake of measuring, this piece here measures 5.5. This is in centimetres by 9. So that means this piece here, I'm hoping, is 6, yep. By 9.5 it's going to be. And that's going to be this piece here. Okay. And we can't be that lucky. We're not. Okay. I was hoping so. But let me just tell my dear husband, I'm doing a live. You'll have to ring me back later. Bye. How good is it that we're not on the phone anymore? And we're using the computer. So that is 2.5. So that needs to be 3, and that's 6. So 3 by 6.5. And you've got 2 parts to your ruler, so you can use both parts to measure. Look, and I got spare. 3 by 6.5. Okay, here's this bit. And that bit's going to sit on there. Okay. So these pieces will then layer upon layer upon layer above each other. And because we've cut out our Blackberry Bliss pieces, gives us a little bit of play to, if we bodged it up and it wasn't straight, it would give us a little bit of play to put it back together, but it will also give us a little bit of it lets us hide that hole. So it makes it quite a frugal, very effective, but a very frugal type of card. Okay, so we'll just hold our tongue in the right direction. Now that's the thing that you think, talking about directions, you do need to make sure that when you're placing this piece of designer series paper on top, you need to make sure you get it going in the right direction, because you don't want it to go like this, because that looks like dog's breakfast. And you know what? You can tell that it's wrong. So we want this piece to go on here. Okay. So essentially I'm gluing all of these pieces down. Okay. And again, holding my tongue in the right spot. All right. And then I'm going to glue this piece onto here. Just because we can. No, because that's where it needs to be. All right. So we build up our card. Hi, Pauline. How are you going? And we're making sure that our plants are going in the same direction all the way around. And we're going to layer it up. And you'll see how effective does that look. It actually looks really amazing, doesn't it? I really like it. So washi tape is your friend. It does stick things together beautifully. Now this ribbon is it's our iridescent one. What are they calling it? Striped trim. And it's like got a pearly look to it. I know it's really hard to see, but it's really pretty. Not sure if you can see that shine. I know that the camera's having trouble catching it, so it does keep going a bit blurry. I'm going to put it under between these layers. Okay. So the way that I like to do my ribbon, again, I'm a bit frugal with it, because the ribbon's actually not, it goes a long way, but I don't like to waste it, and nobody's going to see it if it's at the back of the card. I also have a tendency to put it down the bottom portion of my card, and I stick it on like so. Okay. Pull it firm, but not too firm, because I am going to go over the other side and I am going to tie a bow. Now, please tell me I've got some scissors here. Please tell me I got decent scissors here is probably a better thing. Our paper snips are as sharp as, but they're paper snips, they're not ribbon snips. Okay, so there's that one. And then I'm going to pop that over the top there, but I'm thinking I just might need, do we want a knot or a ribbon? I'm thinking we might need just a knot, not a ribbon. A knot or a bow was actually the proper question. So this ties the most beautiful of bows, but it also ties pretty smick knots. And it sort of it folds back in on itself really nicely. So there's a knot. Okay. So all these goodies, we've got a joining special that's got one more day, like one more day. And all of these goodies can be added to your kit. And you're going to get so many more extra things. You get 5 stamp pads, 5 markers in the latest in color range, a packet of designer series paper that matches it. It's a 6x6 one, the stack, and a packet of cardstock to match it. So essentially you're getting $144 free of extra goodies. Then you can add all these good things into it. You need a stamp set, you need some adhesives. How good does that look? And we'll have some dimensionals. You could get some blending brushes, you can get some extra ink. You could add some, what else might we need? If you're brand new, you might need a trimmer, because the trimmer is the bomb. Sorry, excuse me, the trimmer is the bomb. And when you're using your dimensionals, don't waste bits. Use the outer edges as well. And I'm sure everyone will agree with me that has one of our trimmers. It's a really good trimmer. Easy to get replacement blades for. They're also available in the online store. So all around, it's a goodie. If you're watching this on replay and the 31st of May has come and gone, then it's just the joining special is still good. It's just your normal one. Whereas at the moment, we're getting some extra goodies. Okay. So, all right. So these bits, this denier paper is an online exclusive. So, whoa, did you see what I nearly just did then? I nearly put it upside down. The new trimmer is absolutely fabulous, isn't it, Pauline? You can't go wrong with this trimmer. Well, you can, but it's really hard to do so. It comes with a protective film on it, and it's really important to take that off. Okay, that's not it. There it is. Okay, I'm going to pop that one up there. Can you see how it just has come out? That's upside down. All right. This is, like I said, this is such pretty ribbon. Now, there's a lot of cute sayings in the catalogue that are just sentiments. So we used a class on the weekend, Simply Said, and it's over on the table. But there's also, where is she? This little beauty. And it teams up perfectly, because again, it's layers, but it teams up perfectly with our cardstock. And when you can just use your designer series paper, and then you can just use a bit of cardstock. So what I'm going to do is I've got this little bit left over. I'm going to cut out the happy birthday with it. Okay. And then I'm going to do it in fresh freezer. Now there's only a little bit of fresh freezer on here, but there's enough to bring that through. Okay. So the happy birthday is 2 words, but the bit at the back is another piece. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm not going to glue those together because I don't know if I want to add my, what's that thing called? Whether I want to put dimensionals under this piece or not. I'm thinking that I don't want to. Actually, the Feel Better Soon would work really nice down the front of that, wouldn't it? As a get well card. Ooh. It's got these really cute little hearts in it. They just jumped out and wanted to say hi. Let me have a look at the size of this. I mean, the happy birthday worked nice. The happy birthday look, as much as I'd love to say it, Chris, the happy birthday would look fabulous in landscape, wouldn't it? But Feel Better Soon is going to work down there, the front of there, perfectly. So that's what I'm going to do. Feel Better Soon. Now, let me just get it out. Okay. So we've got a sentiment and its shadow in there. We've got 4 sentiments, if I remember correctly. Let me just turn her over and we'll have a look. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So, and I'll need my cut and emboss machine again. Just moving everything to the side because it takes up it's got a bit of a big footprint. These words all fit in the mini, but the mini is not on my table. It's on the other side of the room. I was showing someone that on the weekend. Okay, so we're going to go background. Oh, hi Anne, how are you going? Yep, I try and go live on a Thursday. I say try being the operative word because sometimes I turn around and it's 5 o'clock and I've missed it. I do like to go live on a Thursday. I'm quite happy if anyone wants to give me a prod and remind me to go live on Thursdays, but I do try and do it. Sometimes I'm at work though. Sometimes I'm gallivanting all around the countryside. In a couple of weeks, there is one I'll miss because I'm headed up to Cairns. If anyone's got any tips as to what to do near Trinity Bay, aside of sit around and do minimal, which is part of the plan, please let me know because Tony and I'll be up there for a week. I might do a live from up there, but it'll be similar to last week's. Here, have a quick look at this because this is where we are. How smick is that? I do love it when the words come out so nice. But because I've got, what's the word I want to use? Such an old plate. I do need a bit of gentle persuasion to get my cutouts off it. And the take your pick tools over where I was crafting yesterday. I've been making I cut out some stuff on the laser machine. And I've been making a wooden, as a newbie to us. Yes, I do recommend the embossing machine, the cut and emboss machine as a newbie, for newbies to Stampin' Up. Why do I recommend that? What do I love about the cut and emboss machine? Well, it allows you lots of different options. You can, for starters, cut and emboss, but you can do other things with it. If you're interested in it, Pauline, I can start to think about some things to do with, you can actually use some of the dies as also to make embossing, do embossing. The dies that give you such a neat finish. We do have some options in the new catalogue of dies or punch. And to tell you the honest truth, when I do add them to my cart, which I haven't done at the moment, I will be adding both because they both have different advantages. The cut and emboss machine, it's a tool that allows you to add texture, but with its embossing to each of your designer series paper. It allows you to do there's some techniques you can do with that. You can add color to your embossing folders. You can add foils to them. There's lots of things in that respect. Would I get it straight away? Probably the trimmer is probably my first point of call, but I wouldn't wait too long to get it. Would I if I had the choice between both of them and I didn't go away a lot, I'd get the big one. Now, the reason why I'd get the big one is I'm not sure if you've seen some of the new embossing folders, but oh my gosh, I absolutely love the one. I'll go and grab it. The one, I've just got to hold my tongue right. The one with the spots on it, the circle of spots. We used it on the weekend and adjust. Yeah, it's just next level amazing. So you can get really perfect shapes. You wouldn't be able to cut anything like this without a cut and emboss machine. If you've got something like a cricket or a silhouette, something like that, yes, you could. You'd have to program it in and then do all of that. So if you've got something like that, then you potentially don't need a cut and emboss machine. They're fairly transportable. This particular one, oops, it folds up. So it does take up a smaller footprint. It's got nice soft padded feet. But I have a tendency to leave it open on my desk because this is my craft room, and I don't often. I use my craft room for crafting. It's quite frequently it's not used for anything else. So yeah, it's a tool that makes you go wow. It takes your cards from okay, lovely, beautiful cards, but it takes them to the next level. So think about, I'm trying to bring my mouse in. I want to, because you don't need to. Think about when you make a card and you've got that nice, you want to make a white card. Let's say we're doing a white with one or something like that. You want to add something super special. Yes, you can fussy cut around the flowers. Yes, you can fussy cut around the leaves, depending on how good you are with fussy cutting. But if there's a die, it cuts it out perfectly every single time. And you've got the right shape for it. You can cut, if you're cutting a shape for a sentiment, all the corners are the same. Yes, you can cut it, you can just cut it, and you can cut a strip or a rectangle or a square, use a circle for a punch or whatever. But with the cut and emboss machine, you've got all those extra different sizes, different shapes. Some of them are stitched, and it just takes it from wow to oh wow, for want of a better way of putting it. I know that it's a big expense, but as a demonstrator, you do get, if you're brand new, you do get your 20% off it, and that is a real advantage. If you save your pennies and you bundle it all together and put it on in one order, you'll then get 10% back in free rewards, which means then you can buy embossing folders or dies or something like that. So our bundles of our new bundles have 10% discount. So there are advantages to having a cut and emboss machine and buying the pieces that go with it. If it's something that you don't have yet and you're thinking about it, and you're going to buy a stamp set and you think, oh, I don't have an embossing machine, I won't get the dies yet, you're probably better off getting them while they're the bundle, because that 10%, then extra 20% on that, all those numbers, it's like a rolling thing, and they all add up. All right. When you're putting your order in as a demonstrator, you're also eligible for exactly the same perks as everybody else. So a hostess or anything like that. So any orders above 250 turn you into get you hostess rewards. That is changing in some time. It'll probably be getting closer to Christmas before it does it. So at the moment, that is the way you get some extra perks. So if you're a demonstrator, if you're a customer, if you want to host a party, once your order goes above $250 RRP, you get hostess rewards, which are approximately 10% until you get into the higher levels, and then you can actually get more. I think the highest is 12 or 13%. Don't hold me to that. Don't remember. If your order goes over $750, though, you do get a half price item. The cut and emboss machine can't be put on the half price item list, but there's so many other fabulous things that can. So all of your bundles can, the packet of markers can, your blocks, all of those sorts of things can. So you can save some money in that way. But the main thing is customers as well as demonstrators get hostess rewards for over $250 worth of orders. If you are a demonstrator, you also get 20% off. And when you do it through your portal, that takes the 20% off before it charges you. So you're not out of pocket straight away. Okay, so that's just something for you to keep in mind. I know that you've joined. So or when you it's one of those things. Now's a good time to join. I'm encouraging everybody to join. The joining deal is always the best deal in the catalog. If you want a cut and emboss machine, I think, again, don't hold me to that. I think they're 200 and I know what they used to be, but let me see. Where is Stampin' Cut and Emboss machines on page 56? I don't want to tell you the wrong thing because I'm going to tell you the price of them. Right, so the large cut and emboss machine is $227 in Australia. The to join, it costs $169. If you don't have a cut and emboss machine, you want a cut and emboss machine, you can get the cut and emboss machine as your joining kit. 35 minus 27 is 8. You could potentially get some dimensionals to go with it, and that will be your kit. At the moment, you get your other goodies with it. So 5 ink pads, 5 markers in the ink colors, plus the designer series paper in the ink colors, and a packet of cardstock in the ink colors, the brand new ones. So you can actually get crafting straight away. If you're not a demonstrator, you can get that at that discounted price. All right. You can always get replacement plates and all those sorts of things, but I'm just saying it's a really good deal. All right. So now that I've gone over that, and let's get back to this card. Hey, what do you reckon? So I'll just go back down here to this card. So I'm looking at this now. So there's lots of different things. One thing we will do is turn that around to make sure that we stick it together in the right spot. The other one that would be really good for this would be the perennial postage stamps. Can you imagine? Like, I was just looking at this. Can you imagine these? That'll look really cool too with that pattern, wouldn't it? But anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. It doesn't take much to sidetrack me. So I got some basic white here. Need to make an insert. I don't have the Zinnia stamp set yet. I can't own everything in the catalogue as much as I'd love to. I just can't. The dollars don't allow it. I don't work enough for that. So what I'm going to do is I've pulled out one that I have shown you before. And the reason why I pulled it out, it's Irresistible Blooms. The reason why I've pulled it out is because look at those leaves. But do you think I've got an ink pad to go with it? I don't have a single ink pad. Let me grab an ink pad. Yeah, I'd get one if it was me. Let me see. What colour shall we have? Where is my, I don't want that, fresh freezer, red and green, and I need a granny apple. It's got some legs. I'm coming back. There she is. Oh, it looks more like old olive though. You know that when you buy the packets of paper, okay, I was going to say it's written on the back, but the back's in the middle. Let me see. We've got Berry Burst, Blackberry Bliss, Flirty Flamingo, Highland Heather, Lemon Lime Twist. Oh, I could have brought that over. Lemon Lolly, Melon Mambo, Mossy Meadow, Old Olive, Petal Pink, Pumpkin Pie, and Real Red. Well, I've grabbed other colours, not those, but that's okay because I think I can make it work. So I pulled out Irresistible Blooms because I like the leaves look very similar. So, and I just wanted something to go on the inside of my card. So we're going to go with some dots because you can never have too many dots and spots, and just a couple of leaves. I really should have gone to go Old Olive. There's a block. There's a little block. Oh, Lordy. There's a little block. So with my inner and my envelope, we're going to do some colouring. So let's have garden green because I think it will look better. We're just going to put some leaves in here, and they're nice and dark. All right. And just put a couple of leaves here. And instead of adding anything else to the leaves, I'm actually just going to add some dots. So I'm going to use my Granny Apple Green. I'll stamp it off a bit just so that it doesn't look as green. Now, look, watch this. So we're going to do the back of our envelope just because we can. And then when I open it up, so what were the first things that you got when you, first things that you bought, Pauline, with your Stampin' Up? There was, I mean, it's so hard to choose. Oh, I made a bit of a boo-boo there. So let's just add some down there. Okay, what do you reckon? I've got a wish list. I keep a wish list going all the time because I call it bill smoothing is what I could use my wish list for. Now, the other thing I might do is clean, no, I won't clean that off because I'm going to do it on here. Now, just to add another way of adding a bit of texture. So if you don't, because you don't have a cut and emboss machine and you can't add texture. I don't like adding texture with the embossing to this page anyway, with dry embossing. So I'll sometimes add, I'm just going to see what it looks like. Okay. I'm just going to add some leaves to in here, just so that I can, they're like a little bit, just add a little bit of, they just stop that piece of paper on this side from being so flat. Okay. Why did I put them in the middle? I just wanted to make sure that, all right. Yeah, trimmer, pickup tool, DSP, cardstock, a few other good things. I don't blame you. Have you got a Cricut or a cut or a, have you got a electronic cutting machine, electrical cutting machine? Because sometimes that you can use that instead. If you've got, especially if you've got a scan and cut, the Brother Scan and Cut will actually scan out images and then cut them out. This sort of stuff you have to work in the back office to do, and it's fiddly and whatnot. You need to learn how to do magic things like weld and all that sort of stuff. Just putting some glue on my ribbon. I'm not going to pull the tape up. I don't normally pull it up because I like it to hold it nice and tight. If you want to use tape, you can. Multi-purpose glue is less is best. Yeah. See, you can get away with doing some of this with your Cricut. Some of the specific stuff you can't, and I don't think the Cricut has got a scanning and cutting feature. So it's not like you can scan the images then cut them out, if I remember correctly. So, all right. But you can do some other fabulous things. Allowed doesn't come into it. If you have a scan and cut, you can put the designer series paper through. So this one here, for example, the latest scan and cuts do it. The one I have doesn't do it very well, and it was one of the early ones, but it will cut out with whatever margin you say around this big bold flower. So it'll cut out that flower that's probably about 2 mil if I wanted to, so it would look similar to a die cut. Yes, you can. Yes, you can take a photo, upload it as an SVG to the Cricut. So you can get away with doing some things like that. So, and the beauty that you have with that is that you can then cut out multiple of them at the time. So, yes, there's ways around everything. I like the cut and emboss machine is because you can't emboss with the with your Cricut. Well, you can, but you can't, like the way that I'm talking. The embossing folders, some of the latest embossing folders, I don't have one here. The one that's got the dots, then I don't have one on the table. I'm pretty sure they've got a page. I'm still learning this catalogue. I think I've gone too far. by the time we get to January, February next year, I'll know which page most things are on. Embossing folders, where are you? Punch sets, ribbon punches, memory keeping. Embossing folders, page 129. Yeah, I had gone too far. Page 129. Okay, where is it on here? This one here, number 4. All right. Yeah, it is a game changer. These are divine. So if I have to tell you my favorites, number 4 is now my favorite. That thing is 6 inches wide, and I'd say it'd be pushing 10 inches long. It's a really big embossing folder, which is why it's $21 instead of the $17.50. Another one that's my favorite is the brick. It's 6 by 6, and it looks like some part of the brick's missing. I've also liked the tiles for the similar reason. And the other day I was using this one here, the layered florals, for the first time, and it's actually really pretty as well. The 3D ones are really nice. I really like this feature in these ones here as well, where you can actually cut them out and emboss them. So that's also another game changer when it comes to the cut and emboss machine. Just saying. So yeah, there's some really nice ones, and there's some really nice ones coming. So we've got there's a Stampin' Up event called there's a Stampin' Up event coming up on the 22nd of June for demonstrators, and called Creativity Now, and it has what we're doing with that is if you joined it and you bought the kit, there's actually even an embossing folder in that, and it's really nice as well. And I'm just like going, oh, there's more really nice stuff. So I'm actually gluing this flat because I'm going to put some dimensionals under my sentiment. Okay, so cool technique. One nice tight knot. If it's not, because it's only just tied as just once, it's not doubled up. If it's not being submissive and it won't stay where you want it, you can stick a glue dot under it. I have been known to use a glue dot to make a lot of things stay exactly where I want them. Okay, just pop a nice big bit of dimensional under there. Oh look, I found one. Right along this edge. Okay, let's see. I'll stick it there. Okay, and here. All right. And another little bit. Yeah. So we'll just pull all these bits off. Excellent. You'll have fun with Creativity Now, Pauline. Have your skates on though, because they go fast. But if you cut everything out before the day, you'll really enjoy it. Look at that. How pretty is that? So you can see just by stamping. Now I did stamp them in garden green, tone on tone. So Blackberry Bliss would have been lovely stamped underneath there. Would have done a similar sort of thing. The garden green will actually stay and stand out for longer, which is good. And it's not too bad when it comes to the envelope. So that's my card for today. Let's stick the inside in. Oh, can you hear my roosters going? Probably not actually. I do like the dampeners on the Logitech camera. It's supposed to only pick up me, but that's all right. Okay, we'll just stick this in here. Okay, and ta-da! There we have it, one Feel Better Soon card. It's such a nice way that they do those sentiments, isn't it? Alrighty, so back to me. Thank you so much for joining me, everyone. Thank you for listening to all my waffle about how wonderful the cut and emboss machine is. If you are interested in joining Stampin' Up now, you can join with my team. There is a link in the comments. If you're joining before the 1st of June, there is a joining special. After the 1st of June, if you're watching this on replay, it's $169 for $235 worth of product of your choice. And there's no commitment after that. If you don't want to demonstrate, you don't have to demonstrate. If you do want to demonstrate, I'm here to help you all the way along if that's what you want to do, help you learn some tricks of the trade and how to do everything with the back office and all that sort of stuff. Just reach out to me. The starter kit that's $169 for $235 worth of product, you cannot go over the $235, so try and get it as close to that $235 as you possibly can. Like we said before, the cut and emboss machine plus a packet of dimensionals, and you're leaving only $1 on the table. So there are some easy ways to get nice and close to it. Okay, I'm really good at getting as much bang for your buck if you need some help trying to work out what you should put in your kit. And it depends on where you are in your crafting journey. So if you'd like to join us in our crafting journey, stay tuned for more videos on a Thursday. There'll be one next week, but not the week after, because I'll be sunning myself in the lovely Cairns. So please feel free to pop some comments and mention some places where I have to go. We're staying at Trinity Beach, and I'm not exactly sure what else is around there. I believe there's a train where we can dangle our feet over the edge of the train. So I want to go on that, but I'll have Tony with me. So any trains and bridges, they're a must. All right, so toodaloo for now. I hope to see you all soon, and I'll catch up with you next time. So I'll just pop over there to pop that button and say bye.